on air.
Right. Good morning, everyone. Let's stand for a moment of silence in the Pledge of Allegiance. And now the pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd like to call today's meeting to order. First on the agenda is the Emergency Rental Assistance Program approval. I believe we have people here to present that. Please introduce yourself in the matter.
Good morning, everyone. Rachel Souter, Senior Grant Manager in the Office of Grant Management.
Good morning. I'm Jordy Newman, President and CEO of the Washington County Community Action Council.
Thank you guys all so very much for coming today. We really appreciate it. I know that with Christmas coming, everybody has a million things to do, so I really, really appreciate all of you being here. And thank you, Krista, for all your assistance in making it happen. The reason that we asked you all to come here today is because if you'll remember in May of this year, the Department of Housing and Community Development gave or awarded Washington County $9.4 million in emergency rental assistance funding to go towards citizens who are having difficulty paying their rent or utilities as a result of the pandemic. Well, our subrecipient, the Washington County Community Action Council, has almost expended all of the $9.4 million. They estimate that they're going to run out by the first week of January. So because the pandemic is continuing, the state is awarding us another round of funding. It is $6,496,617. So with your approval today, we will accept the funding and we will sign the grant agreement and enter into a subrecipient agreement with the Community Action Council.
Mr. Newman, any comments from you?
Well, I would also like to reiterate my appreciation for meeting today. We did not anticipate spending the $9.4 million in about 6 months. We currently have paid 1,900 households during this time. We've denied 230 that have either been over income or they did not submit all the required documentation. We still have an additional 300 applications in process right now, which will fully expend all of the ERAP 1 funding. And we anticipate having a couple hundred still in-house that will begin with ERAP 2 when that funding is received. It's been a challenge for us just staffing up for this grant. The processing takes a significant amount of time. We've already been audited for it, and it's gone well. We are continuing to process applications now. We have done so with kind of a skeleton staff. We've only spent 3% of what I believe is 9% allowed for admin. So we're trying to get as much money directly into the community as possible. So we will continue with ERAP 2. It appears as though the guidelines will be very similar, but we are going to try and utilize more of the other housing grant opportunities to extend how long this funding with ERAP 2 will last. Unfortunately, the need is still there, so we'll do everything we can to assist the community.
Hey, Gordy, just a quick question, curiosity only. Is that $6.5 million? Do you have it? I never heard what you just said, but do you have a projection of how long that'll last?
Well, it's kind of difficult to answer. Just in terms of, we have a rapid rehousing grant, we have homeless prevention. With ERAP 1, we really utilized ERAP 1 and didn't use the other grants as much, just because of all the arrears that we were facing with ERAP 1. With ERAP 2, we're seeing more recertifications where people have gotten caught up, but now they still need a little bit of assistance moving forward. So we're hoping that this money will last longer. The grant goes out to 2025. I don't foresee us being able to extend it that long, but yeah, we're going to try to utilize more of the other funding sources because with E ERAP 1, the state required, was it 65% of it being spent by September? So, we really had to push that money out or they were going to take it back. So I could tell you 6 months, I could tell you a year. I mean,
Yeah, I get it.
we'll do,
I appreciate it.
yeah, we'll do what we can.
If there's no more questions, I'll call for.
I have a
vote.
question. And you may have already answered it in that comment, but do you, is this for people that are behind on rent, or is this for new renters who need assistance getting a place, or both?
Both, essentially. It's for households that are impacted by COVID. What's unique about ERAP, the Emergency Rental Assistance Program, is it allows us to pay for arrears, which most grants do not allow that expense. In addition, the time frame that ERAP, it allows you 12 months of arrears and then 3 months of prospective rent with ERAP 1 for a total of 15 months. And then with ERAP 2, if you're going to request prospective, you're only allowed 3 months total, so that between ERAP 1 and ERAP 2, there's only 18 months total.
And that money gets paid directly to the landlord?
It get paid, if the landlord is willing to participate, yes, it gets paid directly to the landlord, and that's the way all of our other grants work.
All right.
But in this situation, if the landlord refuses to participate, we have to pay the client directly and encourage them to still pay their landlord because they owe that money regardless to whether the landlord wants to accept it from the program or not.
And you've only had to do that in a handful of.
It's very rare that that has happened. Most landlords just want to be paid.
Mr. Newman, I know there was an earlier program that helped with mortgage payment assistance. Have those funds been exhausted? Is this money eligible to help homeowners with a mortgage payment, or is it only for renters?
This is strictly for renters.
Okay. Are any funds still available for that particular program?
We are not administering a grant for homeowners at this time.
And the tenants have to apply, the landlord can't apply.
Well, the application needs to be completed, and signatures from both the landlord and the tenant are required. Some of the apartment complexes are helping their tenants complete the application. It's pretty simple, but everybody wants to have their rent satisfied, so a lot of people are working together with their landlords to complete it.
Any other questions? If not, entertain a motion to accept.
Motion to accept.
Is there a second?
Second.
I have a first and a second. Any further comments? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you very much. Appreciate your time, sir.
Thank you.
And you, Rachel. All right. That concludes our agenda item. Motion to go into closed session.
Motion to go in closed session.
Is there a second?
Second?
Any other questions? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.